Welcome to Unpacking the Music Industry with Innocent Shezi. I am the founder of Shezi Entertainment as well as a musician. So today we're going to be talking about making a career out of music. Now, this is possibly one of the most difficult subjects for really a lot of people and a lot of young people who love music, but they find themselves very in this very difficult position where they don't know how to make a career out of music. So you have identified yourself that you love music, which is the first step, is that you understand and you know and you see yourself that, okay, I love music. I want to go into this specific sector and I really want to make a career out of it. But now you're asking yourself, how do I make it happen? How do I convince my family? How do I convince people around me to really support me in my journey in really becoming a person who's really working in the music industry. So now the second thing that you have to do is that you now have to also identify which sector within the music industry do you want to go into, because remember, the music industry is actually segmented thrice. So there is music performance, there is music production, and then there's music business. Now you have to look at those three parts and say, okay, where do I fall in? Firstly, if you say, okay, I am just a person who likes to sing and I just want to sing, no? So the now what you need to do is say, okay, I want to sing, but what are the next steps? So the next steps are, you have to find people who have done it before. There is nothing as important as finding a mentor. Finding a mentor, someone who came before you, who will be able to guide you and help you in your quest of becoming a performer. Now, the music industry is a very difficult industry to be in. And if you see that you are not a person who can handle all of that pressure that comes with being in the music industry, unfortunately, I would have to say then being in the music industry is probably not the right career choice for you. But if you are a person who is really passionate about it and you say, this is my passion, this is what I want to do. Now, after you found people who have done it before, study them. If you really cannot speak to them personally, study them. Study what they did. Study how they really got into the music industry. Another thing that a lot of people are doing is that they are really handling two jobs. Where a person will say, okay, probably at night I'm going to be performing, I'm going to be going to the studio, I'm going to be recording, I'm going to be doing that. But probably during the day I'm going to be having a day job. And that is something that I would possibly really advocate for, as long as you know that you are going somewhere with your music. Having a plan is possibly one of the biggest things that I try to teach artists that always get in touch with me. And I say the first thing that you need to do is you have a plan. You cannot just say, I want to become a performer, and that is probably where it probably ends. But what can you do as a performer? Can you probably go to probably bars and probably get some work there and probably perform there? Can you probably render your services as a backing vocalist? What can you do to actually get you to actually become the performer that you want to be? Now, the music industry has a lot of places where you can actually be able to find work, but it all lies in the artist taking that initiative to say, I'm going to look for these spaces, I'm going to look for these parts where I can probably be able to actually render my service. And I also am a huge advocate for education. Now, when you are a creative who actually studied music, um, you can actually be able to then say, I can probably work a typical 9 to 5, probably as a person working for a broadcasting agency, or like myself, I work for a PR music agency where what I do is that I render my services Monday to Friday to like independent artists, and I actually help them to be able to actually get their music out there. That is a typical 9 to 5. Another people could then be able to go into music and probably teach music. So having that education that really backs you up to be able to actually do other things and be able to find work within this sector, which is the music sector. And another thing that I would also probably really push for, and I'm trying to teach a lot of artists to do, is that once you know that, okay, I want to do music, I want to go into this sector, what previous work have you done? What have you done to build up your real portfolio to be able to one day say, now I can really fully focus on music? It is all about what you're doing. It is all about where you are putting yourself. to be able to have a career in the music industry. Um, this music industry it is not easy. It is not easy, but it will only have space, and you'll only be able to make a career out of it if you keep on working. Someone said this to me, that Innocent, if really being an artist and really being in this music industry was easy, everybody would do it. Because honestly, everybody grows up loving music. Everybody grows up wanting to be an artist and everybody's singing. But it is only the serious people who take it seriously and who really, really work diligently and really, really focus and really, really get their skills right to be able to really, really work in the music industry that are able to have a career in the music industry. And it is not easy. I'm always going to be saying this. If you're not ready for the music industry and if you're not serious about the music industry, then find something else. But you need to really, really also turn off the noise, because there will always be noise around you of people saying, don't do this. Why do you want to be someone who's going to be doing music? Personally, when I wanted to do music, a lot of people were not taking me seriously. A lot of people were telling me that you are really wasting your time, you are really wasting money, trying to do this music thing. But today, those people now are really giving me a lot of respect for the work that I do, because it is something that I really, really stuck to, and that it's something that I made sure that no matter what people say, I am focused on this. I am diligently focused on this because I know where I want to be. I know where I want to be. And also, I would also like to encourage a lot of independent artists. You know those desires that are really deep down inside of you. And a lot of people will really tell you a lot of things. But what matters is what is in you. You know yourself. You know that you want to be an artist. You know that I want to be a performer. I want to be working in this music industry. So really turn off those real noises around you and focus on your craft and ensure that you are really studying how it's done right, so you can be able to have a real career in the music industry. And I would also be, really advocating. I would like to really advocate real education. Study music. If you study music, you're giving yourself a much more better chance for you to be able to get that opportunity. You're giving yourself that much better chance for you to be able to know exactly how it's done right. So yeah, that is something that I would really like to encourage artists when it comes to this specific topic of really making a career in the music industry. Study it, pursue it relentlessly, and hopefully I'm going to see you soon in the music industry. Thank you so much.